Can you turn your body this way?
No. Can you do my paper for me?
Bruh, you would get an F.
Oh. I love
When
you.
your friends don't believe you.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Third Act. Yes, it is Thursday again, just like every single week. It's Thursday, everyone. But today, we will be talking about Beauty and the Beast from Pioneer High School, as you can see. Karina and I had the privilege to see the show, and it was a great experience. I know you are a huge fan of the show, am I?
Yes.
Okay.
You were so unsure of that.
Grammar. We are also filming this at midnight on Tuesday because this is the only time we can all get together. So bear with our
Faces.
minds, faces, and souls.
Oh, are you okay?
Javi didn't get to see the show, but he will be guiding us through the whole process of reviewing this video. So let's get
reviewing the video. Fix it. Don't let it happen again.
Oh, I got it. No, I got it. If you notice to my right, Javier is still here. Yes, he is going to be guiding us through this review. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Ready?
It's so late. It's so late. Okay.
You want to do it again?
It's crackhead hours. Alright.
Do you want me to do it again?
No, we don't
No,
have
it's
time.
fine. It's fine. Go.
All right.
Alright,
Javi,
give me this.
take it away.
Okay. Alright, so just like the last video, I'm just going to be taking them through each category and they're going to have a little conversation, talk about it. Each of them give their opinions about what they liked and what they didn't like or what they wanted to see more of. Yeah, so let's start with what we always start with, which is the technical elements. So let's go ahead. Let's start with set. Let's talk about the set first.
I really enjoyed their set. They had a piece of set from a show that was on like 3 years ago, Romeo and Juliet, that was the Tower of Juliet, and they transformed it into the castle, Belle's house, and they also turned it into the tavern. So I think that was really cool that they made.
Was it like on a turntable or like wheels?
It was on wheels.
Yeah,
so and then they would bring in like this master staircase
Okay.
to attach to the main turning of the set, which was really cool. And you would see all the kids like in character and in costume like turning the set piece, and it was really intricate, but they really made it work. And they also had, whenever they had Belle's the town, they had different houses come in and they had tables set up like if it was a market. It was pretty cool.
Oh, I thought that entire scene was really cute. It was cute. The lights were cute. The little set pieces that came in were cute. That whole ensemble was just cute in the show.
Okay, so you mentioned something about lights, so let's segue into that. Were there any moments in the show where lighting stood out to you?
Yes. To me, the biggest lighting standout was the moment when they had the mob scene. And it was all dark, but they had like a little bit of yellow in there to make it look like they had fire, because they had lanterns.
Ooh, okay.
And so they were like dancing and they were lighting themselves up with the lanterns. Which is pretty cool. I like that a lot, especially in such a big space like that.
We will be able to get pictures because thank you to the director for sending them to us. We were able to get a pretty good amount of them, so we'll be able to hopefully insert pictures in the video so you guys can see what we're talking about.
If you and your school have pictures and would like to send us the pictures if we still haven't reviewed your show, please.
Yes, we have received a few. Oh yeah, we have received a few, so if you still want to send them, like she said, if we haven't reviewed it, you can do that, so we can pick the best shots from your show. Or if they're posted on your social media, like for your school or for your theater department, you can definitely shoot us a message, DM us, and we'll look for them and try to pick out the best ones.
Yeah, like a thread or something.
Yeah.
Just send it over.
Last tech element we'll talk about is costumes. So were there any particular costumes that you that stood out to you that you liked the most, or maybe something that they did that not a lot of shows who did Beauty and the Beast did?
I really liked Gary's costume, or Beast's costume. He didn't use Gary. He didn't use prosthetics. They did a lot of facial makeup. So to me it looked like a lot more real, I guess, than
like an actual face.
Yeah, like an actual face.
No, yeah.
And then his hands were done. Everything was done. And then I found his transformation very impressive.
Oh, I was gonna ask about
because he hid, and like as soon as he came up, and it was on time too. As soon as he came up, he was the prince.
Yeah, he took all his makeup off, like up on the West Wing. Like it was on top of the thing.
He did the transformation on stage.
Yeah.
Yes. It was
like
beautiful.
up there. He like hid, took it all up, and like popped back up.
Yeah, and I like my sister was in the one at North, and when they did it at North, they actually had to get like a double.
Oh yeah,
so
that's what we did when I was in high school.
And it's because of the prosthetics. And so since they didn't do that, he used a makeup wipe and he had everything taken off. It was really impressive.
Oh yeah, Gaston's also.
Gaston was the movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
And in on Robert, it looks so right.
Oh yeah.
He looked like Gaston.
No, yeah.
I liked it a lot. It was funny.
No, yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna move on to performance elements. So, let's talk about vocals first, because I always love talking about vocals.
Okay. So,
who would you say, or how were the vocals put together? As far as like, because it is a heavy ensemble piece. In my opinion, I think. Yes, their solos are strong and they stand out, but I feel like a lot of the bigger numbers require a really good ensemble, especially vocally.
I did work at this school a few years back, and so I do have like a close connection with the director and the kids there. I know, crying. From my understanding, they didn't have a vocal director, but the kids together, like they all put it together. Like they worked on vocals, like themselves. And for not having a vocal director, they were pretty good. I think there were moments that I would have wanted a lot more harmonies, but also not having a vocal director, like
it's kind of hard to do that on your own.
That's so difficult, especially because the kids took care of the set, they took care of their costumes, they took care of everything else, their lighting, like everything.
Beauty and the Beast, in my opinion, is one of the most complex ensemble vocal pieces or whatever. That and Hunchback.
Yeah.
The scores for those are ridiculously complex. So I applaud the kids. I mean, they did really well. And she's right. There was a lot of unison. There wasn't a lot of harmony, but I was okay with it because it filled up the auditorium.
Yeah, I think doing unison was a good choice for a cast that didn't have a vocal director.
Yeah,
because vocal directors are there to guide you so that these harmonies sound on point. Yeah, and I mean if they felt that it was better that they sing in unison, then I think that's great because it won't distract anyone from the show itself.
Yeah. Let me just double check that they did not. Looking at the playbill, I do notice that there's students labeled, but there's also one student that was there last year, Yahaira, a diamond of last year. She is such an incredible girl, and now thinking about it, that makes sense. The fact that they had someone like her leading them and helping them out, it makes sense to me. She has a beautiful voice and she has a great ear, and I love the fact that schools like this bring in past students, alumni. I mean, I graduated from SHS, but my director transferred to PHS and I started helping there. But I love the fact that they use Jahaira, and I love the fact that schools do that. Like Robert Vela does it, La Jolla does it. I love that.
I think it's a really good choice because it's usually kids that have just graduated. So they already have a connection with the kids that are in the show. So it's kind of like, it's easier for high school kids to listen to their peers rather than authority.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's a really good choice in some cases because of that. And they get stuff done and they feel like they can talk to the choreographer or they can talk to these people because they went to school with them. And they're, they're not that much older than them. And they're more comfortable with what they're doing.
I actually, coming from Vela, I really liked having, because when it happened to me first, I was a sophomore, and Brianna Bella had just graduated, and she was our vocal director. And I really enjoyed that because I was comfortable with her, both as a student, but then since she was a senior when I was a freshman, she was still like an authority figure. So it really worked. And then even more so when Andy came back my senior year, he was a senior when I was a freshman, so that was like the best for me. Him and Brianna really guided me the entire way. So I do enjoy it. I do like the way that they can pull that off.
I really appreciate that. That's why Pioneer Hope holds such a special place in my heart, and they're super sweet every time that I go there. Like, yeah, they're super nice. I love them.
So going on the vocals, let's steer back. Okay, so do we have any standouts? Like maybe a certain song, certain songs, or a certain...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Robert first.
I was really cool. Let's go first.
Robert first. He
played Gaston.
Oh, he played Gaston. Yeah, but his music turned off.
Oh my god. Okay. In the middle of the show, for the song Me, the song stopped. And this kid kept going.
He sang the entire
that would
song.
Kill me.
He sang the entire, literally, I think it was the first like 45 seconds of the song that played.
Yeah.
And then he just went with it. And I was like, I know the show, okay?
Yeah.
I know the show, and I was like, wait, did they mean for that to happen? Because he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Like, he was just...
Gary, keep going.
I mean,
Show must go on.
Robert was very impressive. Very impressive.
He kept going. He did not stop.
That's insane. Like, I think... I mean, I would be able to do that, but I can just imagine, like, what he was thinking. Because, like, that's probably so, like...
I mean, technically, it's so hard. Like, it's hard to stay on pitch. It's hard not to go flat. Like, it's so hard, technically. But, like, emotionally, your nerves have to be through the roof.
Through the roof, yeah.
Through the roof, which makes technical stuff even more difficult. I mean, he was very, very impressive.
Not just that, but the song Me ends in, like, a really weird note.
Oh, and he found it.
Yeah,
he found it.
And he
it was very very impressive.
And he held that. For as long as he wanted to, because he didn't have a song in the back.
Gary, he came out... Oh, my favorite song. If I Can't Love Her. He came out, and honestly, Gary didn't... Okay, Gary didn't have a singing role last year. And then Daniela told me that he really hadn't sung before, and I was like, what? Very impressive. I mean, he made me cry.
I think it's really cool when you hear stories like that. Like when people never sung?
Yeah.
Right? Never sung before. And then they come out and just like pull this really good voice out of them. Yeah. But it's because they never tried, or they never like felt that they had a good enough voice to like sing like that. I think it's really beautiful when you find out like you have like that talent. I
love Alyssa. Alyssa, again, another freshman that came in when I was working there. She actually took a year off last year. Oh, yeah, and she walked into Beauty and the Beast and like,
got Belle.
Wow. This girl is such a trooper. I know she's dealt, just because I know the kids personally, I know she's dealt with a lot of health issues, and I have no words for Alyssa. I'm gonna start crying if I start talking about her because I love her so much. But yeah.
I thought she was actually pretty good for me. I actually thought she was pretty believable, like as the character.
Karina's very like critical with this musical because it's like her favorite. Like it's like one of her dream roles.
Absolutely.
So she's very like nitpicky, but
and she was very, very believable. I thought her delivery, her voice, everything fit, you know. And when I found out, when Daniela told me that she had been having these health issues, I can't imagine.
I can't imagine going through a show like this during that.
She's so strong.
That's a very rigorous, like, on the body.
She's so freaking strong.
I'm interested to know about the chemistry between Belle and Beast. Because that is, it's very, that's a necessity in this show. Like, I mean, chemistry amongst opposites is always a necessity. But I feel like this one, since it is, like, a love story, I mean, like, it
oh, it's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, like, it needs to be there. If it's not, it kind of flops.
the way that they both individually like performed these characters, I do want to say that they put a lot of themselves in the character. Because I know them. Again. God. I know them. And I know Alyssa's very much like Belle, and I know Gary is very much like Beast. Like he put a lot of Beast, and not like the angry, ugly part of him, but like the funny side that like people don't see. Like there was one point in something there where he got on the floor and he put his leg up here and he started scratching himself.
So funny.
Like a dog. Like Gary. Like Gary really kills it when it comes to comedy.
Oh yeah.
And he's such a strong actor, and his acting ability has improved so much over the freaking years. I am so freaking proud of him. But even last year, when they did their one act, I was so impressed by him. And like, he has such a way with performing, and he has such a way with like getting the audience to feel empathy, and that's so special. Like,
and I think you love them in the show. You love them so much separately because you really don't see a lot of like of them together. But you love them so much separately that when they do come together, it's just like it was bliss on stage. It was really pretty to watch.
I want to talk about 3 girls that stood out for me. The silly girls stood out for me because they were freaking hilarious. I've never seen those girls before in like a show. Like I've never worked with them.
Okay.
So when I saw them, I didn't know who they were, but I loved how connected they all were whenever they weren't on stage. It's like they were cast perfectly as the silly girls. Like they were always together. You know what I mean? Their names: Caitlin, Miranda, and Marissa. All of them. Beautiful.
They were so cute.
I know that I walked in to a few of the rehearsals to help in, but one kid stood out for me because of his professionalism and the way that he handled rehearsals and the way that he handled himself throughout the show was the young guy that played the baker. His name is Nathan Castro. He really impressed me because there was something about him where even when there was a bunch of commotion going on with trying to figure out where things went, he was so focused and he looked very professional. And during the show, he worked very well. Like, he looked very natural, you know, blending on the ensemble. But I thought that was insane how there's, like, bits and pieces of, like, people that look like they could work with this for a while. You know what I mean?
And that's actually really hard to do. I mean, blending in an ensemble, it sounds egotistical. It's not. But it's hard to do because you don't want to underact and you want them to know you're involved, but you don't want to take from the scene either. Yeah. So there's like a balance that comes with it. And so it's really hard to do that. It's really impressive when someone can do that.
I really think he did that, and I really think the girls did that as well.
Oh.
Because when they were together in the ensemble, they weren't taking attention away. But if whenever
you were interested.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful. I love people that are able to do that. Because like you said, it is hard. It is hard to, because as actors, we're always told to make choices and be individuals, and we're all very expressive and dramatic because that's what we are. It is hard to kind of like dial that back to like be one unit sometimes, because you have so many personalities that are happening. But when you have a really good ensemble that's able to blend like that, the result is beautiful because it's so, they're still themselves while still being one unit, and I think that's beautiful. I think that's what I love about theater, like being able to do that. So let's talk about our favorite song. Whoever wants to go first, and then we'll go into our diamond.
So we agreed on our favorite song. Our favorite song was Gaston. And it was my favorite because it was just very immersive. Like, the ensemble was on it, the girls were on it, the food was obviously on it, and Gaston was on it. It was just such a cute. It literally was straight out of the movie.
And they had pretty intense choreography from what I can remember. Like they really like worked very, very hard for that choreography, and you could tell that they were having so much fun. And that's my favorite part about going to shows, seeing kids have a blast on stage.
See, and I think that's a song that the whole cast has a fun time with, because like working on a production of Beauty and the Beast, that became my favorite song.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My favorite song to watch, my favorite song to listen to, my favorite everything. We will have our guest of honor tell you who our diamond is this week. So do you want to tell everybody?
Well, it was kind of a segue because our favorite, our diamond was Robert Garza III. RG3. I just, in my opinion, movie. He was just the cutest. He was the cutest up there.
No, yeah.
And he came out in, like in his little costume. I was like, yeah, that's Gaston. There was no confusing him. Like there was no question. His acting was on point. His singing was on point. Everything about him was on point. And every scene he was in, I wanted to watch the whole time.
See, and I think that's perfect at capturing the essence of who Gaston is. Like being like that scene stealer.
Being that captivating.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that's all we have for you this week. Next week, we will be talking about Frozen at McAllen Memorial High School. One of 2 this season. But since Daniela was the only person able to see the show.
Absolutely.
She will.
Because I'm the best.
Oh.
All right. We'll have a chat after
We'll
this.
talk about that.
All right. So since she was the only one who saw the show, she's going to be the only one reviewing it. So it'll be similar to the last 2 videos that we've done, but this time it'll just be me and Daniela. So that'll be interesting, so stay tuned. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching this video, guys. And as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much.
Bye! Sorry, my mom called me.
Sorry, my mom called.
Okay.